My name's Stuart Cartwright and this is Intelligent Golf Performance, where I will make you the best golfer you can be. Today I'm talking about cutting your handicap by 50%. Yes, 50%, with 5 steps that if you apply, I am pretty sure the handicap will be lowering. Ultimately, we are all searching the channels of YouTube to get that magical tip that's going to lower your scores. Hit the ball better. Give you that feeling off the tee like you've got the biggest driver in the bag. Today, it's knowing how you move your game forwards. You know that there's ingredients in your game that if you just fix them, stop slicing, topping it, hitting it out the heel, shanking it, hitting it fat, you would score lower. But whatever the ingredient is that needs managing, that needs changing, you need to have a way of applying it and making it end in a lower score. Come Saturday afternoon when you've played with the boys and they've taken another $5 off you, or $5. So let's think about what we do on a weekly basis. You get into work, you're a little bit bored, you flick on the laptop or your phone and you look at another YouTube channel. Now, you have started the week looking at my channel. On Tuesday, you're looking at Danny Maud's channel. On Wednesday, you're looking at Peter Finch's channel. And on Thursday, you're looking at someone else's, and then someone else's come Friday. You've been down the range 5 times that week. And on Monday, Stu said, club path, well, it's all about pressure in the feet and how to get it more from the inside. 7. That didn't work for you. I was swinging it from the inside, and before you knew it, you then whacked one off to the right. Oh, what does that Stuart Cartwright know of Intelligent Golf Performance? I got it from the inside and I sliced it out to the right. Then we're on to Danny Maud. Danny Maud with Pete Cowan tucking the right arm in. I didn't say that. He's talking about pressure in the wrist angle so that you can get some pressure on the golf ball. That didn't work for you. Then it comes to Wednesday, and God knows what Peter Finch is telling you to do. The point is, and the absolute top of the tree, is wherever you fuel your information from needs to remain consistent. That is my absolute top tip. And you need to, therefore, give that a chance to work and change your game. If you listen to me on a Monday, listen to me on a Tuesday, listen to me on a Wednesday. But don't listen to someone else on a Thursday and Friday. Just don't listen to me on the Monday to Wednesday. Listen to that other person that you thought was better on Thursday. Listen to him all week instead. But don't listen to me part-time, listen to someone else and listen to someone else and then go and have a golf lesson off your mate. Because I promise you, you will have the biggest pile of cack you could ever imagine as a golf game. I see people commenting on my channel and I absolutely love hearing it. And just recently, it's been so lovely hearing people say, I've unsubscribed off of every other channel and you're just sticking with me. I could not. Honestly, it's overwhelming how fortunate I feel when people say that, because I feel like I've made a dent and I really am super grateful. And incidentally, 65% of people that watch this channel aren't subscribed. If I've helped you with your game, please consider subscribing while you're here, because it really would mean the world to me and it would keep pushing me to making the content that's going to make you the best golfer possible. So number 1 then, let's not go down the cycle of hope. And what does the cycle of hope look like? Monday morning, you're onto the internet, you've had a shocker of a weekend, and you think it's your over-the-top move, which it won't be, but you think it's your over-the-top move. So you stick in the search engine, over-the-top move. And so on Monday, you hear of a lovely tip where you keep your back to the target and you pump your arms down and you hit the ball from the inside in an effort to draw the golf ball. And just by luck, the first 2 shots where you kept your back to the target hit from the inside and then hit a beautiful draw, and yes, I can make that little garbage piece of advice work too. You stand there on the range and you're doing it. Pump it down back to the target, close the club face over, and I'm hitting some beautiful little draws. Tuesday though, so you leave the range on Monday and you're super excited. Inside out, I've got this worked out, and then inside out, and then all of a sudden, holy moly, I've hit a shank. And before you know it, you've hit 3 shanks on the trot, you've thrown the club down, and you're out of there because that didn't work. And then you're back on Wednesday looking at someone else's piece of advice. Therefore, stick to whatever channel, whatever golf coach you feel is giving you the best advice, and stick there. Hold there and give it a 3-month shelf life. Give it 3 months to make an impact. And my advice to you is on day 1 of listen to whoever's channel, whoever's advice you choose to use, write the score down that you went out and played. And then write the next score down. Keep applying yourself. 3 months down the line, you should have, I don't know, if you're playing a couple of times a week, you've got 8 rounds of golf, 6 rounds of golf, should I say, bad maths. You're playing twice a week for 3 months, 8, 16, 24 rounds of golf. So you've got 24 rounds of golf, and you would then have an idea of whether those scores came down. If the scores didn't come down, if the vision of your golf swing hasn't improved, kick it to the side, move on, but give it 3 months. So that is top tip number 1. Wherever the information is coming from, keep it the same. Really, really important. Number 2, you've got to find the weakest part of your game. And that might seem so obvious. Well, of course, it's my driver. I'm useless with my driver. Well, understand why that might be. Do yourself a favour. Go wherever you live in the world. Go down and hit some balls on a TrackMan or a GC quad. And hit some drives. Hit 10, 20, 30 drives. And have in front of you these 4 boxes: the angle of attack, the club path, the face angle, and the face to path. Go down there and hit yourself 10 shots. And just do your thing. If you can, have as limited amount of thought in your swing as possible. Hit 10 balls. And then at the end of them, what you'll see is the distribution of shots that you've hit. So you just bash 10 shots down the range. Then, when you've finished, whoever's TrackMan, whoever's studio it is, download that data and send it to someone that knows about it. Or scour the internet for what part of that data is your weak link. And then go on a pursuit and a journey to find out how you can make that ingredient better. Find what the weakest link is and why that weakest link from a data perspective. Don't be the person that assesses it in your eyes, because you're not qualified to do so, with the greatest of respect. Get yourself someone that might be able to offer up some insights if they understand TrackMan or GC Quad data. Be a bit more logical about it. Don't go down the inside-out path. Don't try and fix your over the top, because it's all rubbish. Deal with data. It will really help you out. So find the weakest link and get obsessed with it. Get obsessed with finding some of the reasons why your face to path might be too far open. Be obsessed with why your angle of attack might be too far down. But don't go down the range, see a slice, and immediately put in fix my slice, because you'll get a range of topics that are 99% a load of old tripe. So number 2, get obsessed with what your weakest part of your game is. Number 3 is how we then go about applying this stuff. Applying the changes is really interesting because we've got 3 parts, and this really was quite interesting watching Dave Allred. I managed to do quite a bit of work with Dave Allred when he was working with Nick Doherty, one of the guys I used to help still do when he hasn't got a microphone in his hand. And there were 3 areas of training, and Dave called it state of repair, because your golf swing is always going to be in a state of repair, isn't it? When did you wake up on Monday and when did you wake up on Friday feeling like the golf swing feels exactly the same? It can change by the minute, let alone by the hour. So understanding that the golf swing is in a state of repair, and so for me, I'm always working on a couple of variables. And so what I might do is I will completely let go of where the golf ball is going to go, and I'm just going to work on, boomerang golf ball, I'm just going to work on the ingredient that matters most to me. And so I'm feeling that right now. So as I'm hitting, my attention, and let's just say it's my right knee, I'm focusing solely on my right knee, and I don't care where the golf ball goes. So all I'm looking to improve upon is my right knee. And it was really interesting because someone brought up in a video that I did a couple of days ago, they said about striking, oh, my striking's off. I can't get better at striking. Well, if your striking isn't improving with the changes that you're making, you're probably not making some good changes. But striking is also a skill. So actually practicing on how to strike the golf ball needs some work as well. So when I'm just working here and I'm in this, what we call a state of repair, I could be focusing purely on my ball striking. And again, not worrying about where the ball goes. So ball striking, right knee, elbow, whatever you want to work on. Focus solely on that and care not about where the golf ball goes. And once you've spent some time doing that, and you can do it in blocks of 5 if you want, blocks of 10, I don't give a monkeys, but just spend some time doing that and care not about the golf ball. Then practice it. Practice what it might look like out on the golf course. So you've improved your golf swing with the advice that you have taken from whoever your guru is. And also you've fueled where that weakest link is from your going down the range and using your TrackMan. So you've applied all of that in the repair, and now you're going to practice. Now, what does practice look like to you? Is it hitting straight shots? Well, if it is, good luck with that, because that will never work for you. Or is it hitting bend, controlled bend? Now, I always hit right to left, but I'm not a massive fan of hitting right to left, so I like to see, most of the time, some form of left to right. It makes me feel fairly neutral. So, now that I've worked on my right knee, in that case, I have now stood there and tried to hit little fades down the target. And so now I'm starting to hit the same shot. That one's a bit left. I've started to hit the same shot. Now all of a sudden I'm playing the game. I'm not thinking my knee, I'm not thinking swing. I'm just thinking about playing the game and hitting the shots that I need to see, so that when I stand on that first tee and I need to hit a little peeler down there in a pro-am that I'm going to be playing very soon, I need to make sure that I feel like I can do it. That the change with my right knee that I knew needed to be worked upon to change my angle of attack that my guru has given me now allows me to deliver a shot in the sky. Now I feel confident that the information that my guru has given me, that I've fueled from the TrackMan advice, that I've then applied in my match practice, I can now go out onto the golf course, go out, play around a golf, and hopefully I've seen some improvement. So understanding that's how you start to change and evolve your golf swing. That's the formula. Now, how you go about that, how you go about choosing a channel, how you go about getting the data on your golf swing, and how you go about applying yourself is the commitment that you make to yourself to be a better golfer. Stuff is as difficult as getting to the gym, as difficult as not eating processed foods. It's self-discipline, not flicking it on. But at the end of the day, the game is your passion, the game is your fun time. And it's lovely listening to different golf pros and golf coaches to help you with your game. But is it any good to you? Up to you. Then we start to come on to strategy. Now, when we're talking, and the thumbnail said 24 down to 12, that's a 50% reduction. If you're playing off 8, you should be able to get down to 4. If you're playing off of 20, you should be able to get down to 10 pretty darn easily. But understand, when you go out on the golf course, you cannot make a double bogey. Forget pars, forget birdies, forget pars. Just don't make a double. So wherever you are in the world of golf, if you're playing off of 24 and you make a couple of doubles around, that's 2 shots have saved you just like that, if you just turn those into a bogey. So the minute you get out of shape, listen to me, I am calling, don't make a double, because when you make a double, it is a sacre bleu. It is a bad piece of judgment on your part, because unless you've lost the ball off the tee, you shouldn't be making a double. You get yourself in trouble, whack it out, get it on, 2-putt, done. Get out there with a bogey. So whatever level, and this goes for a 5 handicapper all the way up to a 36 handicapper, do not make a double bogey. And when you make a double bogey, write it down in your card and see if there's some form of pattern to the double bogeys. Only interested in the double bogeys. And that goes for scratch golfers, 5 handicapper, 12 handicapper, 20 handicapper, all of you out there, just don't make a double. And I promise you that will have a huge impact, because it will have a ripple effect through your game and make the bogeys and the pars and the birdies come at you a little bit sooner. And then finally, if there is one thing and one thing alone that will lower your handicap quicker than all of the first 4 strategies, it is about making your own personal par. Take every single hole on the golf course that you play on a regular occasion, and if you were to play it 10 times, what would your score be? So cut aside the times when you do make doubles. Cut aside when you make triples. But if you played the first hole and you played it 10 times, what would your average score be? Would it be a 5? Would it be a 6? So if it's a 5, put a 5 down. The second hole, it's a par 5. If you played it 10 times, and you made 5 majority of the time, put a 5 down, even though you get a shot there. And if a hole is really difficult to you, but it's stroke index 18, put a bogey down. But you decide the par of the golf course. Make it your par. And when you do that, when you step on the first tee, all of a sudden you go out with a different agenda. You've sat at home, you've had a cup of tea, and you've thought about the par or the score of that golf course in your eyes, in clarity, in clear view. Rather than getting on that index 18 hole where you've just had a nightmare on the hole before and you've taken out a rash decision and you're playing it in the wrong way. And so when you then start to have your own personal par, you might look at the golf course a little bit differently, and you might see a slightly different opportunity to lower your handicap. And when you've done that, then break it up into blocks of 3. Take your 18 holes and chop it up into blocks of 3 and write them down. Get your own little printout at home, print it out and write it down, and fold the piece of paper so that you can't see the 3s to come and the 3s that have gone. You've just got the next 3 holes in front of you that you're going to play. And it's not even anything to do with the card on the course, it's just your 3 holes. And this will give you a really clear mind of what your agenda is that you believe you could do when you're sitting down having a cup of coffee and a slice of cake. So do that, and just maybe you might have an opportunity to cut your handicap in half, 50%. Those strategies of how to improve your handicap, improve your golf for the better, so at the weekend you can enjoy this wonderful game so much more than you're doing so right now. My name's Stuart Cartwright. I think you'll find that's good coaching. I look forward to seeing you next time.